Public health is essential for a thriving society. It ensures that everyone has a safe place to live, learn, work, and play. Local public health supports the Ontario government in being efficient, effective, and providing value for money in public health programs that promote healthy living for Ontarians. We're asking decision makers to support public health goals with sustained resources. Public health protects and promotes healthy communities through various initiatives like disease prevention, health protection, emergency management, and health equity. Public health focuses on disease prevention through immunization and case management. In 2023, over 800,000 doses of vaccines for HPV, meningococcal, and hepatitis B were administered in Ontario. Additionally, over 4.9 million doses of influenza vaccines were distributed, and over 2.3 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine were administered. Public health also helps ensure the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, and the places we gather are safe. In 2023, Public Health inspected over 39,000 food premises and 7,000 pools and spa facilities in Ontario. More than 2,000 risk assessments were conducted for small drinking water systems, and more than 44,000 tobacco inspections were completed, helping to limit youth access to cigarettes and protecting communities from the impacts of secondhand smoke. Public health encourages healthy lifestyles and reduces health inequities by providing support to the most vulnerable. Programs like Healthy Smiles Ontario and Ontario Seniors Dental Care ensure access to essential dental care. The Healthy Babies, Healthy Children program promotes healthy child development to help children achieve their full potential. Public health also reduces infectious disease risk to Ontarians by monitoring outbreaks, educating the public, supporting institutions, and coordinating with the broader healthcare system. In 2023, over 3,000 services were delivered monthly by infection prevention and control hubs, and more than 1,250 IPAC complaints were investigated. Public health ensures continuity and resilience of the healthcare system during disruptions and emergencies that may put the health of Ontarians at risk. Public health strengthens Ontario's resilience by planning for public health surge responses, supporting healthcare and preventing and controlling high-risk pathogens, and assisting municipalities and First Nations with emergency planning and response for events like pandemics, extreme weather, and environmental hazards. Public health matters because it keeps our communities safe, healthy, and resilient. Let's support our public health initiatives for a better Ontario. To download a copy of the infographic, please go to www.alphaweb.org.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting. Thank you for coming. We've got an action-packed agenda. And so I think we'll start with the call to order at 5 o'clock. Read the resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Health agenda dated September 24, 2025 be approved. Do I have a mover? Marianne, perfect. The seconder? Rick. Call it out. Rick Champagne,
Yes.
Karen Cook,
Yes.
Claire Flowers. Okay, that's for that. Sarah Inch is also absent. Yes, I'm in favor. Jamie McGarvey,
Yes.
Jamie Restool,
Yes.
Tim Shepard,
Yes.
Marianne, you already moved it. And David Wolf.
Yes.
It's carried. All right. Move to the next item on the agenda.
Sorry, Chair, could we just do the land acknowledgement?
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Yeah, well, that was land acknowledged by David Wolf. Sorry.
Thank you, Chair. The health unit is situated on lands that are the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe people who continue to live, work, and play throughout these territories, including in urban communities. I encourage everyone to think about how they may contribute both personally and professionally to the process of reconciliation and respond to the 94 calls for action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. I missed that. My apologies. The next item on the agenda is we did the approval of the agenda. Conflict of interest. Next one. Any conflicts of interest? Sorry? No conflict of interest noted? Okay. The next item on the agenda is the minutes. We do the minutes now? Or- Oh, the presentation. So we're going to have, Catherine Chilibray is going to present, manager of Healthy Families. So welcome. And who is it?
Doris.
And Doris. Okay. Hi, Doris.
Doris,
Welcome, Doris.
yeah, she's online. She'll be doing the bulk of the presentation.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you. I'll share my screen.
We increase the volume.
Put the volume.
You try talking now, Doris, just to see if the volume is good.
Hello, can you hear me?
Maybe a little higher.
For those of us with hard hearing.
Say something else, Doris, please.
Hello, it's Doris. How are you?
We're good. That's as high as it can go.
Just tell me when to go.
Yeah, just, we can hear you, but if you get
Okay.
as close to the mic as possible when you're speaking, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. My name is Doris Chartrand. I am a public health nurse with the Healthy Families team. So thank you for inviting me to your meeting this evening. I'm pleased to be here to talk about Basics and Nipissing Parry Sound, which is a new parenting initiative that we have launched a few months ago. And I'm happy to have Catherine and Louise here today because we've been working together on getting this project started and expanding it with our community partners. Is that okay? Am I loud enough?
Yes, thank you, Doris.
So here's an overview of what I want to talk about with you tonight. I want to go through some background information related to basics and the 5 basics principles. Then I'll introduce the basics resources, the Insights text messaging program, and the basics website. And finally, I'll expand on the community approach to basics and some next steps for us. Before we go into what Basics is all about, I want to review a little bit of background and information that supports why we chose this program and why we believe that it's a great fit for our community and the local families that we serve. The Basics principles are grounded on Harvard University's Center on the Developing Child's scientific key concepts related to children's brain development, resilience, and early relational health. That includes topics such as parent-child relationships, serve and return, and attachment in the early years. And that brings us to the next slide. The science shows that considerable amount of brain development happens in the early years. In fact, 80% of brain growth happens in the first 3 years. Beginning from birth, young brains develop like muscles, getting bigger and stronger the more that a parent or a caregiver interacts with their child or young or even a baby. So as you can see from that brain development image on the right, it's titled Brain Neuron Growth and Connection Over Time. The slide that says 2 years old shows how the neurons are very, very much developed and they are more solidified during the adult years. So that shows that we have a big opportunity to give our children that are very young, 0 to 3, to support them, to give them a good foundation for schools and for just a good start in life. Now for the good news. The science is clear that the types of lived experiences and interactions in the early years support brain development, resilience, and learning. And we know that these have implications for lifelong well-being and health. This early childhood development lays the foundation for learning and ensures children starts kindergarten with the skills and attitudes they need to thrive. We also want to mention that the Ontario Public Health Standards, particularly the Healthy Growth and Development Guideline, which the Healthy Families Program addresses, Basics is a comprehensive and impactful program that we believe effectively supports this requirement and the families in our district. So I hope that this background information has helped illustrate why we chose this program and how it aligns with the needs of our local families. Now we'll dive into Basics. So I have a little video that provides us a big overview of what Basics is all about. So we'll just watch that together. And hopefully you can hear that.
Now I know my ABCs.
Can you guys hear that?
Next time,
Yeah,
won't
thank you.
Sing with me.
Learning begins the moment your child is born.
Baby, baby, baby.
Do you want to play too?
Every child is filled with vast potential for success in life. And those first 3 years can have the greatest impact on your child's learning.
Apple, look, where's the strawberries at? Yes, that's lemon too, and kiwi.
Wow, awesome job.
It's all about giving a child a proper start. That's what being a parent is all about.
Yay, we didn't like that song.
I wanted to make sure that I was here every day. Such a joy.
Every parent of every background can make a positive difference in their child's life.
It's peeling. Boom.
A few simple, everyday activities can make a big difference.
And those are flowers.
That's why The Basics is working with research and community leaders to promote an important new initiative. The Basics are 5 simple principles that we want everyone to know. The first of the basics is to maximize love and manage stress. The second is to talk, sing, and point.
Let's take a bath, a lovely bubbly bath.
The third is to count, group, and compare.
1, 2, 3.
The fourth is to encourage and enable movement in space and play. And the fifth is to read, but not just to read. We want to read and discuss stories.
Whoa, what is that? A duck. What is the ducks sound like?
These are the 5 fun and simple things that every parent can do beginning from birth.
High five. Oh, yes.
Let's all work together to make sure our children can become the best, most well-prepared they can possibly be.
Maximize love.
And manage stress.
Talk, sing,
And point.
Count, group,
Y compare. Explore through
movement, and play.
read.
And discuss stories. Please join us and help spread the word.
I hope everybody was able to hear that. I wasn't able to hear it, so,
Oh, that was
Yes.
awesome.
okay, great. Great. So thank you. Thank you for that. So as it was mentioned in the video, I'll give a little summary. The basics principles are 5 fun, simple, and powerful ways that every family can give every child a strong start right from birth. The basics are free, they don't require fancy toys, and they don't take any extra time for parents. It's really about how families use the time they're already spending with their children during everyday routines. And so the 5 principles are maximize love, manage stress, talk, sing, and point, count, group, and compare, explore through movement and play, and read and discuss stories. So the research shows that these basics principles can impact children's growth and development, well-being, and success in school. This chart shows how each principle is linked to growth and developmental outcomes for children. This includes things like self-regulation skills, language, social, physical development, language, literacy skills, and more. So we do have a few links that we'll put in the chat after this presentation. We have one document that goes into the background and the science behind this principle. So you're welcome to review that if you want. So there's more to basic than these 5 basics principles. We call it a basic strategy. It's a packaged positive parenting comprehensive initiative. Basics is designed to engage whole communities. It's focused on making the most of the time for parents that have children from birth to age 5. It's flexible and appropriate for a variety of settings, whether it's in a playgroup setting or healthcare provider's office, or even a library. The basics resources are diverse, convenient, and easy to access for parents. Basics offers a wealth of resources, an abundance of resources. Here's a few examples. They have videos, they have tip sheets, they have parent handouts, posters, rack cards. They also have resources for supporting implementation of basics, like facilitator guides for leading workshops or skill building sessions with parents. They provide training modules for staff that goes through how to have a discussion with parents about the principles. There's a wide range of research and data that we have access to. And when we purchase the membership, we receive resources with our own logo and our own name. So our name is the Basics Nipissing Parry Sound. And you'll see the resources has our name, our logo, and we also have the URL to our website on the resources. So as you can see, it's a very comprehensive package. So Basic also offers a community website tailored for communities. So due to time constraints, I won't be able to give you a tour, but we'll put the link in the chat. So I'll just share a few highlights to watch for. There's a section that's called About Us. In this section, you can find our local story, our community updates, who's involved at the health unit, who's involved with the coalition. So this is a good place to find out what's happening in the community with Basics. There's a parent section with tips and activities for parents. There's a sign up page for the Insights text messaging program, which I'll talk about on the next slide. There's a partner section. If partners want to join the movement or they want to learn more, they can complete the form and then we'll get that and we can get back to them. So there's a lot of information on the website and I encourage you to check it out. Now I want to talk about the Basics Insights text messaging program, which is a digital strategy. This involves parents and caregivers of children between the age of 0 and 3 to receive positive parenting messages on their cell phones after they sign up. This program is free for parents. The messages include activities and tips that are tailored to the child's age. So the parents receive 2 messages a week. The first message is a science-based information about the principle of the week. The second text they get is an activity that parents are encouraged to try with their children. Parents can register through the website or a QR code. We can also email the link to families directly. So now I want to go through the community approach and how this all ties together in terms of the strategy. So when BASIC describes a community strategy, they use the word social ecological saturation. So this term refers to a strategy for reaching parents through multiple channels in their social environment. So for example, that could be a school or a healthcare provider, a childcare center, or even a church. The goal is to saturate the social environment of parents and caregivers so that they encounter the BASIC's messages in the place they already spend time from the people and sources that they already trust. And our role as we work with the community partners is to explore how each agency can incorporate these BASIC's messages within their existing work with families that they serve. So to reach social ecological saturation, such a big word, the BASIC's principles will be used in a wide variety of approaches across the Nipissing and Parry Sound District. So promotional resources, interaction with parents one-on-one in home visits or in a group setting. There's also the digital strategy, social media campaign, and then we also have the website. Okay. So this diagram kind of gives you a picture of the population level initiative, the bigger picture. You'll see at the top, we have BASICs Inc., who provides the community lead agency the membership and access to the resources. So the BASICs refers to that agency as the backbone. So the health unit became the backbone when we purchased the membership. So that allows for a more coordinated approach to positive parenting in a community. So the 2 key roles, there's a lot of roles, but the 2 key roles for the backbone is planning and coordinating a community implementation of a BASIC strategy, and also community engagement, getting partners involved with the movement and supporting them on their journey with BASICs. Then we've established a BASICs coalition to provide strategic direction to help us accomplish these goals. The coalition is broad in nature and will inform and direct the strategy. We've had a few meetings. We've just started to implement the coalition, and we're looking forward to working with our team there. Then we have the partners. These include community organizations who join the BASICs movement, share the BASICs with the families that they support. Finally, and the most important part is the families that we serve in the Nipissing and Parry Sound District. They're really at the heart of everything that we do and aspire to do. I just wanted to expand on the partner role. I want to just talk about what their role is in the bigger picture of the strategy, because we know it takes a village. None of us can do this alone when we look at parenting and supporting families. So the key role of partners really is to inspire parents and caregivers of children 0 to 5 to routinely use these BASICs principles and ultimately improve early children developmental outcomes. So these are the boots on the ground, sharing BASICs with families. There are champions in the community. There are advocates for BASICs. And as it states in the BASIC slogan, what none of us can do alone, all of us can do together. So this is what we aim to achieve as a community with BASICs. I believe that's the last slide. Okay, one more slide. So that brings us to the final slide. The red line shows where we are today in terms of establishing our BASICs movement in our district. As you can see, we're in the initial stages of implementation. Our next steps are finalizing our partner agreement in collaboration with the coalition. And then we can expand on, look at engaging community partners and expand our BASICs movement. So this is where we're at today at the red line. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Just one comment from me. That is absolutely awesome. That's great work. Great work. Sure is an eye opener.
We've had a really we had a really great buy-in from the community, so we're very excited to with this project.
Proud of the team.
David?
Sorry.
Okay.
It sounds like an interesting program. You mentioned that there's a membership fee. Can you tell me what that membership fee is?
Yeah, do you want to talk about this, Catherine or Louise, or?
Yeah, no, I can speak to it. We have a yearly membership fee, so for as being a backbone, which is $5,000. We have an annual website maintenance hosting fee, which is approximately $2,100. And then we also have with the Insight text messaging, although they're free for families to sign up, we do pay $6 per slot per child.
Per slot, per child?
Yes. So if
we don't know what the cost of that will be until we know the number of child slots that are being filled, correct? Essentially, the $6 fee?
Well, we purchase like a certain amount and then we keep track of how many are being,
My only other question is, well, we've got two. Do we know at this stage what our involvement with Indigenous partners or Indigenous communities will be?
in relation to the basics. I think we're still at the early stages with that, correct?
That's right.
Doris? Yeah.
Okay, so the partnerships that we form locally will come back to this table so that we'll know who those partners are at some point, I'm assuming?
We can that
Update.
in an MOH update.
I think that would be useful because we all live in different communities. We all serve different communities. We all sit on different boards. So if the uptake on this is great, terrific. If it's not, we can be advocates. So knowing who you're dealing with helps us help you, if you follow what I mean. And my last question is any Board of Health branding on any of these materials? I see that there's programming branding that's on the materials, but on any of the materials that we have, do we have our branding on it?
I believe our branding is on it as a health unit because of that partnership.
Okay. I'd just like to know that when we put money on the table for programming, I like our branding to be associated with it. I see that it's on the basics, Nipissing, Parry Sound. I get that, but I'm in the corporate branding that in some way, shape or form, it's identified on the website or in material that we're sharing, especially with our partners and with our parent groups. I think that that's important. Thank you, Chair.
Karen?
Well, first of all, I found it fascinating, especially watching a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old for a week. I found this really interesting. I just wondered if you could expand a little bit about, says maximize love and manage stress. Could you just explain the manage stress part a little bit?
Right, that's the one principle that has 2 key messages embedded within. So that was a good catch. So the managed stress has twofold, has parent self-care, self-regulation skills. So just helping supporting parents, and also has the children self-regulation, helping children self-regulate and help them with strategies like dealing with their emotions. So there's 2 messages in that one, but it's geared for parents.
Okay, thank you.
And if I could circle back to the previous gentleman's question about the partners, on the website, there is a partner section. And in there, you can also find the list of all the partners that have joined the movement and are involved. So we'll be able to highlight them on the website also.
Perfect. Thank you.
Marianne?
I wish you every success, Doris. My one daughter is a kindergarten teacher. So I think that this is a great way for parents to kind of start to introduce the kindergarten realm and so on and so on and so on, because a lot of what you're trying to do will certainly help them in the long run. So I wish you every success, and it would be nice to keep updated as to how many people actually sign up from where, right?
Yeah, and we're doing, like, we have evaluations. The basics does have an evaluation. We get that data. it's all aggregate data, but, you know, we're able to look at even with postal codes, I believe, and we're also doing we're also going through a research ethics review to do our own evaluation at 6 months. So we'll have some good data that will be brought back to the coalition as well to oversee and help inform the strategy. So that's the really key benefit of not only the partners, but the coalition. You know, we'll have that community input as well to help inform how we're moving forward. So.
Thank you.
Who manages the intake? Do we manage the intake
The partners?
of the parents, anyone that wants to join the program, that wants to take advantage of this programming?
So it's really about getting the partners to help engage parents. And then as parents want to say, for example, sign up, I mean, they can receive a lot of the basics messaging through the programming that they're involved with partners. But if they want to sign up, that's for, you know, we don't necessarily, we can oversee like who's signing or how many are signing up. But it's all through our QR code and the website.
Right, so we would manage the statistics on it,
Yes.
but we're not necessarily managing all the contact with the individuals. Am I reading that correctly? Okay.
So that's through Basics. Like once they sign up, Basics Inc. does send out those messages.
So minimal staff resources on our side to some extent?
To some extent, yes. I think the partnership onboarding is going to be a little heavy, but as we're working on trying to have as clean of a process as possible so that once we start getting, partners onboarded, we'll work on that.
And has this been, sorry, maybe I'm going too far, but has this been factored into the budget for this year in terms of staff resources? So we have an idea what we're budgeting for the remainder of 2025 and what we're going to be doing for 2026? Okay.
That's correct.
Thank you.
The premise behind this is it's a community-led initiative. So we really are relying on and engaging with our partners to help spread the word, and they will be supporting with helping parents sign up for the basics as well. So it's not, although the health unit is the backbone and we are the driving force behind the actual program in terms of outreach, that will be largely done through partners. And that is both traditional agencies that we typically engage with, as well as grassroots agencies will be partners, we hope, of the basics program.
The only reason I ask is public dollars, full transparency.
Absolutely.
Sure. I just wanted to add one just extra thing about Karen's question, just about maximizing love and managing stress. So there are strategies for caregivers embedded in those as well for caregivers to manage stress, like parents. So things like self-care, moments of gratitude, those types of things as well. So those strategies that we know that, those factors really impact growth and development in terms of mental health for caregivers. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Any other questions? I have a couple.
Okay.
So is the DSAP involved in it all? Like, cause it's social determinants of health. I mean, it's great to have, and I think this is a fantastic program, but if you're worried about food and you're worried about housing and all those stressors, which is what you're speaking to, do they sort of dovetail with any of these other social programs?
So we have had some engagement with DSAB. We do have, believe that the early on is part of that. And we have them on our coalition and have had some conversations about the onboarding for partnerships. Doris, did you want to expand on that? You may have a bit more detail.
I know that Tracy, our colleague, met with DSAB, so we've had some conversation with them, and then we're just learning how connected they are with the early ons across the Nipissing district, child cares. So we have an opportunity to collaborate with them to reach more partners, and so yeah, they will be involved and we're connected with them.
Yeah,
because early on isn't the provider through community living?
Community living.
Yeah, so they would be a good partner as well.
Yeah.
The other thing is, as far as measuring success, so we're getting all the input, we're getting people to sign up. How are we going to determine how successful the basics are in the community? What are those things that we're going to see or the public's going to see to measure how successful getting involved in this is going to be?
I can speak to that if you want, Catherine.
Yeah, that's
Um,
great.
s-
Doris.
So we're doing a big evaluation strategy with P&E, setting up like a work plan, but also an evaluation process. What we're looking at is a Q6 month survey that'll be shared on social media, so that we can actually not just measure what's happening at a point of time, but actually be able to measure the growth and how it's being shared every 6 months. So we're looking at a long-term plan for basics. So this 6 months data will be able to really assess areas that we need to improve on, or gaps or needs, and those kind of things. And that information will go back to the coalition so we can review it as a group and then put some strategies in place or priorities in place. Also with basics, the texting program, once you have over 100 participant registered, they'll send us a quarterly report with data. So there's a bunch of surveys that are sent to parents when they sign up after 3 months and at the 18 months of age. So that data will come to us, and then we can also review that data with the coalition. Right now, as of today, we have 107 participants. So we're already past that threshold where we're going to be getting quarterly reports, possibly at the end of this year or in the spring of next year. So that data will also support what's happening, and so we can measure the impact that we're having with families. So I think, does that answer your question?
So, yeah, have we created a baseline to measure against, or will this baseline be created in the first 6 months? Like, what are we, like, so the baseline is 0 participation, and in 6 months, we're gonna look at how much participation and what it's done. Like, I'm not sure how that's, what kind of data you're collecting.
So
Like,
we're looking at, sorry.
No, so for example, with the text messages, will we be able to figure out, or will we get reports on how many times they've read them or gone back to them or interacted with them, and sort of a back of the technology to understand the amount of use?
Right. So I think that the data is focused more on the children's development outcomes, perceived measures, like how often they've used the messages with their families or their children. So we'll be able to assess the impact around growth and development and the parent-child relationship. So I think that is the data we'll be getting from the texting program. In terms of that community survey, that'll measure the bigger picture in terms of where they heard about basics, what do they like to see from the messages, was it a workshop or social media? So that data will be able to make a plan for the community for reaching families, what is working, what we can improve in that way.
It's more of uptake information. There's not a control group that says, if you weren't involved, this is what the growth would look like. There's not.
We don't have a.
Oh, you know that. Okay, that's. Oh, I know. So you're looking at participation, uptake, and then people's experience with the actual program itself.
They're measure of change.
And we do have an evaluation like an evaluation plan that kind of outlines what we're looking at, and from various perspectives. I believe we'll be doing something with partners as well, and quick evaluations as well.
Yeah, more about that for sure.
This is in place in other regions, correct?
I believe there are some other health unit areas that have implemented the basics. I don't believe that they have implemented it to the extent where we're at this point with coalition and partnership agreements, but.
So perhaps, Jamie, there would be a comparator that we could look at, and then that would solve your baseline concern to some extent.
Yeah, it's just, I was looking at the effect. I understand the uptake and those kinds of things. Is if you weren't involved in basics, where are you? Versus now you've got basics, where are you? So if you can see a substantive difference between the two, then it's a clear benefit to her. I mean, I like the idea. My only concern, the whole thing is that as a father of 5 children, a lot of the pressure that you have when you're raising children is economic and get things done. And so these kinds of things tend to, without a lot of discipline, sort of fall by the wayside because you're more worried about just putting food on the table and those kinds of things. So I think the DSAP, and Rick is might be on the DSAP. He might be able to open some doors as well to, because I think marrying these two programs would be really good.
So I think just to answer your question too, Jamie, you're not going to be able to measure population change with this.
Mm.
We're measuring individual change, but being able to report on it at a group level.
And it is meant to, you know, hopefully be simple and hopefully powerful enough, you know, for those families that have, you know, multiple challenges as well. So.
I mean, it's a nice aid to have because, you know, you're often trying to think of what to do or.
Yeah, definitely.
The other
Thank
thing,
you.
if I can add, is there's another option with the texting program that you can send additional texts to the families that are registered. So moving forward, if we decide that we wanted to create another survey or something that we want to collect more local data, we do have that option to send a survey or information about a local initiative to the parents that are registered already.
Right. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Anybody online? Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine and Louise.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The approval of the minutes then? Okay, right. Okay, so I'll go to the, thank our guests and move the approval of the minutes. I'll just read the motion. Let it be resolved that the minutes from the Board of Health meeting held on June 25th, 2025 be approved as presented. And do we have a mover? Jamie? I can't go wrong with that name because there's that's certainly aim Jamie. A seconder?
The other Jamie.
Jamie, okay. Jamie Rostuel. Rick Champagne.
We,
Way. Karen Cook.
Yes.
Claire. He's absent. Sarah Inch is also absent. I'm in favor. Jamie McGarvey.
Yes.
Okay. Jamie Rostuel, second.
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Marianne?
Yes.
Fantastic. David Wolf.
Yep.
That is carried. Right. The date of the next meeting is November 26th, 2025. Time to be determined, and it'll be in the North Nipissing Room here at the North Bay office. Okay. Business arising. Is there any business arising? Nope, no business. That's good. Report of the medical officer of health. This one here. No motion for that. It's just a report. Is there any questions about the report? And a couple. Signature. Oh, I didn't quite know, under community services, under the Planet Health, it says, micro grants. So like how, I didn't know what that meant. So there was 750,000. Is this part of that? And then they over 3 years, and then they parse that out based on program, or I didn't understand.
So some of the 750,000 that we were recently able to announce that we got the funding for from Public Health Agency of Canada over 3 years. So some of that funding goes to support the coordinator position. But there is money left over to support actual initiatives within Planet Youth Nipissing. In order to get some initiatives happening, especially in the first year, while there is still work being done on the action plan, we put out a call for micro grants. So different organizations could apply for these grants, and they're for small sums of money. just to have small initiatives related to youth engagement, provide opportunities for youth. And we will be repeating that again for the upcoming year.
Because what I thought about that is similar to the basics. Do we have partners like, I was thinking like more of at-risk youth, like with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Are they, like, would they just apply for a grant?
Yes, they could.
Okay.
And yes, we do have multiple other organizations that are involved in Planet Youth Nipissing, and you can see the list on the website for Planet Youth Nipissing.
Okay. I had another one about measures for food affordability data. Is there a section specifically for, because I'm in the sort of senior world, to tease that data out? Because I really see a lot of issues, or just with the seniors population. Is it an overall community population data, or is it?
My understanding is the nutritious food basket exercise, you take a look at the cost of a discrete basket of items, comparing different local grocery stores.
Right.
For this report, we'll also be including data on housing, sheltering costs, not just from the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation, but actual costs. But primarily we compare that against individuals on a fixed income. So particularly Ontario Works, Ontario Disability. Yeah.
And, senior CPP or old age securities and those kinds of things, or no?
You know what? I'd have to get back to you on whether CPP is included in that. I don't recall.
Old age security is the one that's also kind of, I see a lot of struggles out there with that one for sure. And you look at the Canada mortgage stuff and it's like way off. Like as far as affordability for housing. But, that's for me. And that was only it's a great report, by the way. Any other questions?
We think now that school is back in session that the measles outbreak will continue, or are we seeing it, generally speaking, an uptake in vaccinations?
So I think there's still room for improvement in terms of vaccinations. There could be a small uptick related to school being back in session and the increased, just social contacts that brings. I don't see a resurgence to the extent that we saw in late spring, just because I think for the most part it's gone through people most at risk.
Right. Do we have an indication of what the flu season is going to look like this year? Are we starting to see some data from other countries?
I would have to get back to you. Usually what we do is look at the Southern Hemisphere and what's been happening there, and and also look at the match between the vaccines that we're offering this year and the strains that we saw circulating. But I haven't seen any recent reports on that.
Okay, I was just curious. And just a comment, Chair, if I may, how does food connect to reconciliation? Part of your report. I thought that was interesting. I would suggest that perhaps at one point this body could participate in that by having an Indigenous meal at our board meeting, as opposed to something from. I mean, you bring in from the community anyways. Perhaps we could be part of that process. Just as an option.
Thank you. Good suggestion.
Any other questions? Ryan? Seeing none? Okay. Okay, committee, what do we got here? Now 10, okay, this we're down to board committee reports. There's no committee reports.
There's no committee.
Correspondence, everybody saw the correspondence. Mostly from other health units. New business 12.1 that we're on now. Let me read the motion. Be it resolved that the Board of Health authorizes blank board members to attend the Association of Local Public Health Agencies, or ALPHA, 2025 Fall Symposium section meeting and workshops to be held online November 5th to 7th. And be it further resolved that the attending board members be required to provide a summary of the symposium to the Board of Health at the subsequent meeting. So I guess there's still a blank on how many. Do we have a number?
We generally said 3.
You said 3, up to 3, I think. Everybody okay with that? 3? All right, do I have a mover? Tim? Seconder? Dave? Call it out. Rick Champagne?
Yes,
Karen Cook?
Yes.
Blair Flowers? I think he's still absent. I say yes. Jamie McGarvey?
Yes.
Thank you. Jamie Restool?
Yes.
Tim? Yes. Movers, seconder. Marianne?
Yes.
Great. David Wolf?
Yes.
That is carried. Okay, the next one is second quarter financial statements.
There's no.
There's no motion, just,
It's included.
Are there any questions about the financial statements?
Generally speaking, are we tracking on budget or are we going to be over budget this year? Okay.
Look at the report. The variances are mostly attributed to vacancies. It's normally it's normally the case. There's allocation of salaries due to organizational structure changes. You'll see some of those in there. The operating costs, other than wages, benefits that are predominantly spent later in the year, like vaccines, clinics, et cetera, they're now ramping up. Again, this is a June report, right? So what I'm talking about is even more current. And eventually the negotiated wages are not yet applied. So we're currently well under budget.
Thank you.
There's just one variance of $64,000 under effective public health.
Jamie, that's due to the reorg. If you remember Chris Bose, so we're adjusting that. Next year it'll be lined up. But overall, the budget is.
I just want to know that I was looking at that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on. Good catch.
It wasn't hard. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, okay. Perfecto.
Sorry, just one. I would just ask, as I always do at all my.
I only have one, Dave.
Is there something that you would like to flag for us at this point that we should keep our eye on?
No, not at this point. I mean, except for the vacancies. It's been an unusual year this year. And a lot of that is, you're aware that, we're all struggling with some recruitment and keeping folks because of the competitive nature out there. But other than that, no.
Okay. Thank you, Paul.
Well,
12.3 is the second quarter medical officer of health expenses. Any questions? Pretty straightforward. Seeing none. Second quarter Board of Health expenses, January 1 through June 30th, 2025. Any questions, concerns? Seeing none. Move on then. Okay, so I will go to read the resolution that the Board of Health move in camera at pulse is 59, 5:49 PM to discuss agenda item 13.1, a trade secret or scientific technical, commercial, financial, or labor relations information supplied in confidence to the board, which, if disclosed, could reasonably be expected to prejudice significant or competitive position or interfere with significantly with the contractual or negotiations of a person, group, or persons of an organization. Do I have a mover? Go with Rick. Seconder? Marianne? Perfect. I'll read it out. Rick Champagne? Yes.
Yes.
Karen Cook?
Yes.
Jamie, yes. Jamie McGarvey?
Yes.
Thank you. Jamie Restuel?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Marianne?
Yes.
David Wolf? That is carried. motion? No. Okay. Okay, time is 6:18. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
You've traveled.
Hey.
Bonsoir.